Good morning, traders. I'm Michael Sabo here with RJO Futures. Coming to you on Wednesday morning, October 24th, with some commentary here in the energy markets. So let's take a look at this here. What a few session wild ride that we've had here over the last several sessions here. Right now, crude's just a touch firmer in the Brent, touch weaker there in the WTI. WTI is down about 6 cents at around 86.61. Brent's up here about 45 cents right now at around 108.70. Taking a look at nat gas, weaker there, 351.70. That's down about 2 cents. Complex just a touch firmer here though. RBOB 261.40, that's up about 90 ticks here, just under a penny, and the heat up about 32 ticks at around 304.66. So let's kind of do a recap here. What do we got going on here? We'll take a look here at the last three sessions. Today, right now, kind of a small range here on the overnight. It's been a touch firmer, but take a look at the last three sessions. What a range that we've had here. If you look back over my prior posts here, we were talking about a lot of resistance here on the November contract around 93. Obviously, now we're focusing on the D's here. The D's was just through 93, but the range there over the last three sessions, not including today, from the highs to the low has been $7.80. We've really seen that market turn around. We were at a high here on October 19th of 93.49. We hit a low yesterday of 85.69 yesterday. So, definitely we've seen, a lot of selling coming into this market, a lot of weakness there. And really, what's the reason behind it all? Well, I think a lot of it is things that I've mentioned in prior posts. I mean, you've got a good supply picture out there, I think, right now, and the demand remains very, very questionable. You look at some of the data that's been coming out. Let's take a look at some data that came out here in China, their PMI data. And it was a little bit, better. We've seen, over the last 3 months, we've seen an improvement, but yet it's still showing contraction. It's still under 50. So, the data is decent when you look at it in the 3 months, but when you look at the big picture, it still shows that there is still some slowing going on there, something that we've talked about before. A little bit better, kind of coming up a little bit, but nothing to write home about, in my opinion. So, I think you've still got, concern there. Then you take a look at some of the data that came out here in Germany, and that data there, their business data there, was really, wasn't anything to get excited about either. So, we know we've got problems in Europe. We know, China certainly has been slowing down. We know we've got problems here in the States. So we take a look at the supply picture. The supply picture over the last several DOE reports, we've seen very good builds in there. We know we're running above our 5-year average. We know the demand remains questionable. So I think, you've got, that perfect storm there. So where are we heading from here? We've seen those prices ease back. So the question now is, where are we going to move from here? Well, I think, look for market consolidation here in this market today. Short-term technicals, market appears to be very oversold. I think that we could see some movement, off of these levels. I think we might find a little bit of support come into the market. Outside markets, equities have taken a little bit of a beating here recently. We are in, a lot of earnings are coming out here. But I think what you'll see happening here is I think you'll start to see, prices kind of basically a dead cat type bounce in this market. So let's keep an eye on it here. If we start taking out yesterday's low, it certainly, I think, opens up the market there to the downside. But here in the short term, I'm actually looking for prices to move back up. Now, we do have DOE data coming out here later today. That has a potential, obviously, to move the market. API data yesterday came out, showed a small build again, but it was only a little over 300,000 barrels. DOE data here expected out a little bit later this morning, expected to see a build of around 1.75 million barrels. So, that could certainly set the tone for the rest of the day and for the rest of the week. So we got to keep an eye on that number. Give me a call, shoot me an email. You want to talk about the numbers as they're coming out here, or you want to talk about some risk management strategies and how we can potentially take advantage of these moves that are occurring right now. The number's on the screen, my email's on the screen. And of course, remember that, futures trading does involve a substantial amount of risk, may not be suitable for all traders. Good luck and good trading.